values that matter most. Elton, championing the vision for a new generation.
Good evening, and once again it's a warm welcome to the weather news, beginning with a summary of the weather during the last 24 hours, followed by the forecast. The Gambia over the last 24 hours was characterized by heavy downpours and thunder activities, as reflected in the figures presented here. Guinea recorded the highest with 72.2 millimeters of rain, Sapo recorded 53.0, Kerawan 26.5, Banjul 15.5, Yundum recorded 15.1, Nyenyambure 7.4, and Kau recorded the lowest with 2.5 millimeters of rain. To see what will follow, let's start with a look at the satellite image captured at 16:30 hours, indicating the presence of a deep system situated over the southwestern part of Mali. And this system is interesting because it will propagate further and will affect parts of the country in the hours to come. Similar systems were observed over central Niger and other parts of the central part of the continent, as well as the eastern sector. The north and the southern areas were mainly dry and stable during the hour. For our forecast, tonight we are expecting rain, showers and thunder activities to affect parts of the country, particularly over the northern part of the Central River region. Day tomorrow will be characterized by rain showers accompanied with thunderstorms and cloudiness. We are expecting a light to moderate southwesterly breeze to continue to dominate the wind flow across the country, and the morning temperature values will be mainly 23 or 24 degrees Celsius tomorrow morning. Top temperatures will be 29 degrees Celsius over Banjul. We are expecting 31 degrees Celsius over Yundum, Sibanor, and Jinoy. Kerwan will record 32 degrees Celsius, as well as Kau, Sapo, Nyenyambure, Basse, and Fatoto. We are expecting low tides of 0.36 meters at 23 minutes to 2 o'clock in the morning, and 0.31 meters at 18 minutes past 2 in the afternoon. High tides will be 1.74 meters at 19 minutes past 8 o'clock in the morning, and 1.57 meters at 14 minutes to 9 o'clock in the evening. Wave heights will be 1 to 2 meters and will be mainly southerly swells. The sun will rise at 9 minutes to 7 o'clock and will set at 21 minutes past 900 hours. We thank you and wish you a very pleasant night. Thank you for the pleasure of your company.
And before we go, a reminder of our headlines. Gambia Ports Authority is seeking to revive sub-regional trade through coastal shipping. 50 tractor drivers and operators are deepening their knowledge of mechanization and crop production, courtesy of government and John Deere Limited. The Senegalese government is rushing to aid families made homeless by flash floods, and the Syrian government has said that its troops move into Damascus suburb of Daraya to flush out terrorists. That brings us to the end of this news. Thanks for the pleasure of your company. Stay tuned and enjoy Grts.
The Central Bank of the Gambia is in the process of modernizing the country's payment, clearing and settlement system infrastructure. The reforms, which came into effect on August 1, 2012, have radically overhauled the way the central bank and the 13 commercial banks in the country do business, especially the handling of cash, check clearing and securities settlement.
Payment systems, as you may know, facilitates transactions in an economy, and therefore the key objective of this modernization is to, one, to ensure that there is efficiency. Efficiency here can be interpreted in many forms, but essentially what the central bank hopes to achieve is to ensure that there is movement of funds at least cost. That is what efficiency is about. Movement of funds at least cost, but at the same time making sure that the funds get to the right beneficiary. This is what we hope to achieve in the banking system and the financial system of the country as a whole. But there are other related issues as far as the benefits are concerned.
It is part of a regional payment system initiative and is also an integral part of the prerequisites towards an effective West African monetary integration.
The West African Monetary Institute, which is based in Accra in Ghana, in collaboration with the Central Bank of the Gambia and other sister central banks, collaborated to implement what is called modern payment systems. This is essentially to modernize the payment systems in these three countries, and they are four countries rather, namely the Gambia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Liberia. The Gambia was chosen as the pilot site, and this project, for your information, is funded by the African Development Bank. So for the past 2 years, the central bank has been modernizing its payment systems.
The new payment systems encompass a set of instruments and means generally acceptable in making payments, institutional and organizational framework governing such payments, and the operating procedures and communications networks used to initiate and transmit payment information from payer to payee, thereby transferring value from one to the other.
The payment systems is a set of instruments, a set of procedures, rules, and the institutional framework that is ensuring the movement of funds from the payer to the payee. In short, this is what payment systems is all about.
We have also been having collaboration with the government IFMIS project, which is also the government financial management project that is responsible for the government accounts. And we have established connections now in which all the accounts of government can be remotely viewed by the Directorate of National Treasury, and in effect will improve also in terms of prompt receipt of all payments and receipts going into the account of the government. Plans are also underway to integrate GRA within the same module that we had with the DNT to improve on the revenue mobilization.
The reforms have been extensive in this area. We are collaborating with the commercial banks, which are the key stakeholders, but beyond the financial institutions, mainly the commercial bank, we are also collaborating with the Directorate of National Treasury under the IFMIS program. We are collaborating with Gambia Revenue Authorities, as one of the key objectives is to make sure that government revenue is paid into government account at the Central Bank of the Gambia as quickly as possible. In other words, indirectly, we want to assist government in their public financial management. These resources that are due to government must be available for implementation of government programs, and this is a key deliverable of the system and an important objective of the system as well. The central bank, together with the commercial banks, would also be working together to ensure that there are improvements on the system The systems have been in operation for